That's literally what it says in my document. Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sarah Labrat, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you everything and nothing about my novel DE. I'm going to be talking about the book as it currently stands, which is between draft 2 and draft 3. Project DE is my high fantasy told from 3 points of view. Like I said, being between draft 2 and draft 3, this project currently stands at 226 pages, 106,124 words. I started it on July 13th of 2016, meaning that I have now passed 4 years of working on this project. But over those 4 years, I was in college for part of it, so this was not like a super consistent project, but I have spent 475 hours and 55 minutes writing and working on this project thus far. I asked you guys on Instagram and in the YouTube community tab what line of my story you wanted to hear because I was going to be making a video about it. This idea is from Diane Marie. I asked her if I could borrow it because she was doing that about her recently finished project on her Instagram stories, and I wanted to do something similar. She did sentences. I'm doing lines. I decided to do lines and not sentences because I did not know how to count how many sentences my book had using a Word document, and even if there is a way, I was too lazy to look it up. So I wanted to choose lines because Word does tell you how many lines there are, and it seemed a little bit more chaotic than doing sentences, and so that's how we are doing it today. I asked you guys to choose line numbers between 1 and 8,481. Someone asked about line 2, and that line is, would be eaten later by those in town. Line 17 is take one to your sister, he said. Line 21, bag before taking a fresh baked loaf. Line 33 is crook of her elbow and smiled at the people she passed. Line 72 is, it splashed on her as she set down the bucket and picked up the pitcher, wrapping her. Line 111 is, she couldn't fake the feeling that someone was watching her. She turned and... we don't know. Someone asked how I was inspired to write this story and how I came up with the idea for this story. This entire concept actually came from a picture that I found on Pinterest. I saw the picture and started thinking of what could have caused this happening, or basically what could be happening in this image. And from that, I realized that what I was coming up with was not strong enough to carry a story, or at least a story that I wanted to write. But I figured out that it actually made a really good backstory for one of the characters. This person also asked for line 2000, which reads, I've been waiting for you. And a similar question to the last one that I just answered is, who was the first character you thought of? And actually it was the antagonist. So this whole concept that I came up with from this photo that I found on Pinterest is actually now kind of part of, now it's a small fraction of the backstory of the antagonist, but it's just a fun thing for me to look back on and be like, oh yeah, this picture inspired the bad guy's backstory. And this person also asked for line 1515, which reads, coming towards her. Line 730 reads, but the overstuffed cushions didn't fool anyone walking near the house. Many people avoided. 2 people actually asked for 1111, and someone told me that I should read it and then make a wish. The line reads, evenly dispersed between the threat of being robbed on and off the road, but because they... And I don't know if I should tell my wish or not. I can go off of this line and say that I wish I don't get robbed, but that seems relatively straightforward. I don't know many people who actually want to be robbed. But I thought that this make-a-wish concept is really cute, so I think I'm going to. Alright, my wish has been made. Line 1156 is, rest in the calm waters at the docks before fighting the open waters again. Line 1206 is, 2 dead guards laying at your feet. Line 1398 is, pushed past the doors and was greeted by the bright morning sun. Someone asked what the most difficult part of this book was to write, and that's honestly a really great question. I'm gonna answer it like this. I think the reason that the first draft went pretty well for me was because I decided to write the 3 perspectives in completely different documents. However, that's now kind of biting me in the butt because I was writing each of the 3 perspectives out of order too, I would skip around a lot. And so when I read through after draft 1, when I was working on draft 2, was trying to keep things consistent, where people were, what emotions were going on, what their train of thoughts were. It's kind of hard to now rein it back in a little bit, which is what I'm going to be working on in draft 3, which I will be starting soon. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, please give it a big thumbs up because it really helps the YouTube algorithm. And let's get on to the next line. Line 1995 is, she opened the door to her room and stepped out. She walked through the cold stone. Line 3007 is, most of the castle was slumbering. It was a fond, familiar stillness. Line 3412 reads, he caught her by the wrist and hauled her into the back room. Line 6338 is, no response. That's literally what it says in my document. Someone asked me what Hogwarts houses my characters would be in, which I considered answering, but then I saw that they also asked if this was the project that I'm writing with dragons in it, and if so, can I put the dragons into Hogwarts houses? So yes. The white dragon is a Ravenclaw. I think kind of the grayish brown dragon would be a Gryffindor, and I think the greenish purple dragon would probably be a Slytherin, but I really liked this question. Someone asked which of the characters I would most identify with, and I'm not gonna answer this for myself because I don't know if there is one that seems the most similar to me, but I actually sort of modeled one of the characters after my roommate in college, and that is the older of the two sisters that both have perspectives in this novel. Line 6531 says, or the Eagles. Line 7042 says, he shared his sister's eyes, but that's where the similarities stopped. Line 7562 reads, out. Line 7631 was dark. Most of it sang to her. This line came with a question, and that question reads, which character would be your best friend? And so the fact that I actually modeled one of my main characters after a really good friend of mine makes that character seem like the easy answer, but that point of view was actually the hardest to write. Somebody asked me what my favorite part of my work in progress is, and I think that's actually when one of the characters who's pretty prominent in one point of view actually shows up in another point of view. I can't say much more than that, but I think that that is such a cool moment. Line 6754 reads, other than the warnings drawn on the walls of the tunnel. Line 7689 reads, it reminded Alvina of teeth. Line 7777 is, the heat rolled off the sand in waves, making the air shimmer and shake. Line 7891 reads, the walls shifted and rose. And then somebody asked for the last line, which is line 8481, and I'm not going to reveal what the last line is, but I will say that the last word of this book is grin. They also asked, what's the biggest thing you learned while writing this book? And quite frankly, that it takes me a very long time to write books. But alright, that's it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for submitting line numbers and your questions that I could answer today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up because it really supports my channel by telling the YouTube algorithm that you liked my video and that someone else might too. If you made it this far in the video, please comment down below either your favorite line from this video or your favorite line from your own story. And if you have not already, make sure you scroll down below, hit that big red subscribe button and that little notification bell next to it because I post videos twice a week and do live streams on the weekends. And so I will see you guys next time with another video. Bye. Nice. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. This went way better than planned. There's so many cars. I asked you guys on Instagram and in the line 7890, that's a big bug. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to film out here. This person also asked for line 2000. Do you mind? Okay, I'll wait. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's no problem. Whatever.